Well, check it out. I found some more things that I need to do that I never did before, and that's the mounts. That's the aft spar mount, and drill out those holes. I had that on my to-do list, and this, I was just looking at how it attaches to the plane. I couldn't wrap my head around it until I found all these parts. So for some reason I never did it back when I built the wings a couple of years ago, and I'm guessing it's because I never found any real documentation on what to do. Like literally here it just says you know, assemble the parts according to the parts manual, and here's the parts manual, the bolt going out, and just put it in like that. And I assume, so we have the spar with the one hole. I guess some of them have 3 holes, so I'm hoping our one hole works, but I gotta drill the second hole going in there, and I have trouble fitting this on there with the other spacer. So I don't know, I watched some videos and doing some research on it, but really couldn't come up with anything, which is probably why I never did it in the first place. So can only put it off for so long. Gotta get done, so I'll figure it out. Alright, this has been a little bit of a struggle trying to get these pieces sandwiched between here. I ended up sanding them down a little bit with DA and some 180 and then some 320 sandpaper, and I can get them on, but it gets real tight here, and then it's reminiscent of my door handle thing that galed up together. So I could probably hammer it on, but it doesn't feel good. So for tonight I'm gonna call it a day and do some more research. I did drill the second hole in there too. I'm not sure if I was supposed to or not, and if I did, I hope it's straight. And I think the bolt goes from the inside out, because it's going to be hard enough to get a wrench or something in there to hold that, never mind tightening a nut in there. So yeah, gonna make myself smart before I carry on. Sorry, babbling. For now, good night. All right, cleared my head and did a little research. So these things, no matter how you turn it, were super tight. So I actually took the spacers on some flat sandpaper, like a flat sanding block like that, a bigger one, and just rubbed them back and forth 10 or 20 times each side, and that got them to fit really snug, but at least they weren't like galing up, and I was able to get the bolts in. This, so that there's been a different revision. I've seen pictures where this is combined into one, so it doesn't have the spacers. I don't know if that's a newer design or an older design, but we have this being kit number 100. Now the bolt that goes here in revision A, or version A, revision A, the bolt goes this way, and that actually makes sense to me, because you want to get the nut on this side and it'd be impossible to get a nut on that side. Like, you'd have enough trouble just holding the head to try and tighten the other side. Revision B and other builders I've seen have it going this way with the nut in here. I guess ultimately it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna stick with this, knowing that I can get this off and change it if I absolutely have to, but that's it for now. All right, two more hardware bags in the trash. So this is on here, this goes on the plane, and at least we got all the hardware set for that. Now I gotta drill those babies out. So this original hole was a 1/4 inch, so that served as a nice guide to get the bottom hole or the forward hole lined up. So I basically put the 1/4" drill bit through here, drilled this one out nice and straight. Then I moved up in increments of like 2 or 3 sizes. Just kept making it bigger and bigger, so I try to stay centered and not, you know, take too much meat out. I did not do the 3/8 yet. I stopped at 23/64. Obviously the bolt does not fit. This is a 3/8 bolt. But what I'm going to do now is put this through a test piece, you know, drill another piece of aluminum with this drill bit that I got, and or a reamer. I'm basically just going to see what works best. All right, one more thing checked off the list, and a couple more bags of hardware eliminated. I'm just kind of putting it all in there so I know where everything is and it's accounted for. We're using the 3/8 reamer. Worked out great. They're like tight, but not too tight. And yeah, I think that's it for the wings. So got those on. Got those on. Now I have to cut the T-bones. So now I can do some measuring. So I took a flat ruler, 48-inch ruler, centered it right on the oval hole there, so we have a little bit of play up there. And it looks like it's exactly 46 and 3/8. So 46 to the back of the plate, but we're interested in what fits inside here. So 40, this is 3/8. And it was actually the same for that side too. Alright, the inside measurement, which is the length of the T-bone mount that needs to be cut. Looks like it's like 2 5/16, so it'll be tight. So 2 and a little less than 5/16. Alright, so I clammed the ruler on here, got that perfectly centered. I even put a little piece of wood as a spacer in there, just so the bow, little helping hand here. I put a mark on that guy right there, and I should be able to trim that. And yep, so I've seen other builders that have had that very close to that weld. So I think I'm doing it right. And again, late night. For now, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm not gonna do something as risky as that, cutting that, so I'm gonna do that tomorrow. Double check my measurements and I don't know, do it with some more confidence. I did the same thing on this side. For now, good night. See ya. In my usual interest of making things more complicated than they need to be, I cut this piece of, it's just 1 1/4 inch wide flat stock, and basically clamp. I have this bolt in the middle of its sorry you know, the range of motion. You can go up and down 1/8 of an inch, and then I cut it to the exact length, so this way I don't have to rely on measuring. So it's completely flush with that being straight down, and those two are pretty much the same. So now I'm going to transfer this onto the actual tube upstairs. And if you're wondering what that noise is, that's my dog chewing on a bone. That goes down here. So up here, I basically took a generic 5/16 bolt, and this, there's no play in it. Now I can exactly mark where that is, which is what I did there. And I think on this side, this is too thin to cut, so I'll probably just grind it off, trying to keep it, you know, true. And then with my caliper, once I have one side marked, I can work on the other side. All right, wish me luck. Yeah, that was worth making this little tool. So I think what I like most about it is now I'm confident that this is very, very true. Like it gives me something to eyeball against. And now I can use this edge to get a marking on this edge to make sure that's true. So worth the effort for this very sophisticated tool. Now available for 3 easy payments of $19.99 at Derek'sDisaster.com. Oh, and yes, I did check inside the vacuum cleaner to make sure there's no smoldering stuff in there. And the other side. Look how square that is. Perfect. Love it. Now my plan is to use the caliper. I set this to 2 and just shy of 3/16 of an inch. There you can see. And basically you can kind of just hold it on the back. And you can kind of score it. I don't know if you see it, so I'll work my way around there and use that as a cut line. Oh. There, they got it marked pretty good. Time to cut. All right, one last check. Yeah, it's a nice fit. All right, back upstairs. All right, very close. Got just a little bit to go, maybe like a thousandth or so. So yeah, real happy with how that came out. Clean those up and hopefully the wings will fit on it. So I made my little jig. I think that was worthwhile doing, seeing how it's so simple. And then used the caliper to cut the fronts. And now I'm getting really excited. I want to put the wings on, but a few more things before that. I will end the video here. Thank you for watching. Again, this is just me doing it, no instructions, no instructional video. First time builder, having fun, trying to figure out all these little challenges and learning new skills. Have fun, happy building. See ya.